All right, what's up, everybody? We are live.
All right, welcome everyone to another live stream before a primetime NFL Monday Night Football game. So we are your co-hosts. This is Andrew, aka Parlay Doc, and Matt Jedi Modi. What is up, Matt? How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. No complaints. Had a good Thanksgiving. Nice to kind of get back in. I mean, it's not nice, but back in the normal routine of things. But no, can't complain. Things are good. How about you?
Good, good. Minus the fact that I had a brutal Sunday, and it sucks for people who caught the live stream with. I went solo without you because of your travels and stuff, and
Yeah.
some brutal beats, man. I was big on running backs yesterday, and Rashad White. Good lord, he breaks off for like a 22-yard run like in the first, like on the first drive, maybe in the first quarter. I'm like, oh, he's going to sail over this 65.5. It's rainy, it's crappy weather. They're going to, Bucks hopefully would be in the lead. And then of course, even with overtime, he falls 2 yards short because
Oh God.
they're just so pass happy. I should just learn my lesson that, play calling it doesn't come so easy to the Bucks when it comes to sensible play calling. It's just I just don't know what they do sometimes. So the Bucks are on my do not trust list, along with the Broncos, who's dead in the graveyard. So I can't even trust the Bucks offense. Like more the play calling than Tom Brady more than anything. So
I mean, losing to the freaking Browns the way they did is terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, there wasn't an insane catch, so we'll give them credit. Give Njoku credit for that catch because that was madness. But just insane.
oh yeah, and I had nothing on the Bucks too. I don't trust the Bucks at all. But I figured no Leonard Fournette, crappy weather. You're going to at least in the first half establish the run. Like, but man, that O line, it just they can't do anything. They
Yeah,
just
they're terrible.
they're a wreck, man. I don't even know why.
Yeah,
All right.
although I do have a little bit of a an impromptu fire fest from last night. Firefest of the week. If for people that know what that means. So I was out all day yesterday. We just like got hung out with some high school friends. Like my friend hosted a brunch, which was really fun. Um, and everybody's safe from this encounter. So, but a pilot, like a small plane, flew into power lines in the county of where I'm staying at my parents' house in Montgomery
What?
County.
Wait, are you serious? I saw this news story, and there's two people stuck in there, right?
Yep, that is literally that happened 10 minutes from my house, my parents' house, where I'm staying.
I don't know how
So
this was on my news feed. I saw this photo of
yeah, man,
literally it's dangling.
dangling there. Yeah, everybody in the plane was fine, so I feel like unharmed. So I feel okay joking about it. But um, where my friend lives, he had power. He didn't lose power. Everything was fine. But my parents' house did lose power.
Oh shit.
So the Eagles obviously played last night, and I haven't missed an Eagles game in forever, basically. So we were like at my friend's house, I was like, oh, I could just watch it on my phone at my parents, like whatever. It's not going to be
Sure.
ideal, but I can watch it on my phone. But I guess I didn't really process this. It was such a huge circuit break of everything was out that even you couldn't get service on your cell phone.
Oh.
So I got home like right at when the game was starting, and I couldn't load anything. So then me and my parents went driving around the state of Maryland trying to find like where the line was because I couldn't even driving around, I couldn't load anything on my phone. So we ended up watching the first half, like pretty much only the second quarter at like a Cafe Rio, some like random fast food Mexican place. It's
Nice.
really good food. But yeah, it was a huge debacle trying to watch the Eagles game, and eventually the power came back like halfway through the fourth quarter when the game was already over. So
And you can admit, Matt, part of you was like, F these people in this goddamn plane. And
once I knew they were safe, I felt fine thinking that. But when it first happened, I was like, I will not let myself be a martyr, considering like we don't know the circumstances right around the holidays. But it was it was wild. Yeah, it was a wild story. Like 80,000 people were out of something like that. Were out of power last night because of it. It's like a huge thing. But Eagles won, so can't complain. That's all that matters. 10-1, can't complain. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest. The plight I had last night.
All right, guys. So let's keep this one brief because I'll be honest, I don't have a ton of action. I've learned my lesson from some of these games, from these brutal games. So look, these two teams trajectory wise, at least I will admit this, they're slightly on the incline in terms of their performance in recent weeks. So I will give them that. But we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Right now, and again, the lines may vary, but just to give you FanDuel as a reference, we have a spread at -2.5 in favor of the Colts. Steelers are +2.5. Money line for the Steelers plus 114, Colts minus 134, and the total is at a brutally low 39.5, which is a
Oh,
tough
God.
tough pill to swallow. I mean, I think if you caught it at like 42.5, you slam that under, but 39.5, I don't know, man. I mean, you just luck out. You could fart your way to 39 points, but I mean, it's hard to swallow.
It's tough. It is tough.
That is tough. That's a low line, guys. So, okay. So, thoughts. We won't spend too much time in here. I'm going to say this flat out to save us some time. Man, I don't trust either team, and I don't trust any of them to have anything beyond maybe drive number one, kind of your scripted series right out the gate. And after drive number one, I don't know if I trust either team to consistently produce offense. That I don't know, man. I don't even know which way to lean. I don't even have a strong feel for either side in terms of like picking sides. Like if I have to pick a side, which I'm not, I'm letting you know, I don't have any money on the spread or the money line. I would personally probably just go with Steelers. Like I have a soft spot. I think because of their young talent, I like Pickett. I would be betting emotionally. I'm just telling you that I would just be betting emotionally because I think Pickett has a chance to be decent. I like Pickens. I like Freiermuth. I like all those guys. Like I have a soft spot for some of those key skill position players. I think they're fun to watch. But that's it. I literally would be betting emotionally. I have nothing tells me that either team is a competent, solid offensive unit. Defense, different story, but offensively, it's going to be a scattering of some good series and then some horrific 3-and-outs. So I just, I don't know. I have nothing. I have no good feel about sides on this one. What about you? Do you have a strong feel for a side in this game?
I wouldn't say a strong feel. I do like the Steelers, though. I agree with you there. I mean, I go back and forth. Like this Colts have been way better than I expected since they fired Frank Reich. Like I thought there was just going to be a total train wreck. Like I thought their season was going to go down the toilet and they weren't going to win another game. Like I had them just as a total train wreck. So I'll give them credit. Like they should have beaten the Eagles last week. They definitely should have. So they look better, but I kind of like the Steelers in this one. I don't like it's a little bit of like in value in terms of like you can get their money line at plus 125 at PointsBet, which is pretty good. So I kind of just like the value of their money line, but like with TJ Watt back, they're just an entirely different defense.
That's a huge factor.
It's a huge factor. So I didn't risk a ton. Like I got it plus 125 on PointsBet. I literally risked to win a unit or a half unit. I mean, a half
Gotcha.
unit. So a small play just to have some sort of stake in the actual outcome of the game, but that's not like it's literally risking $40 to win 50. So it's not a huge feel play at all.
Gotcha. And it was the spread or the money line, you said?
The money line. I got it plus 125 on the money line. I'm not touching that total. Yeah. It probably goes under, but we've been burned by these low totals before with just some stupidness happening. So I'm not touching the total, but I did take their money line.
Yeah. No, if I had to bet with my heart and not my wallet, I'd probably go Steelers as well. So I might I'll put a tiny bit just so I have a rooting interest with you and root it with you then. So okay, let's go on to props and TDs. Let's start with props. I do have one that I like. I wish I caught it 1.1, increment lower. I was a little late, busy getting out of work. So I'm going to take Pickett over 32.5 passing attempts. So not completions, just passing attempts. Here's my rationale why. I think we don't have to go into details. It's just the Colts do have a legitimate, decent defense versus the run, and Najee Harris has just not been producing this season. If you look at yards per carry,
he's been terrible.
He's been terrible. So I think the risk is in the beginning. How stubborn are you going to be? And when will they finally just give up and realize we're going to have to dink and dunk all night, right? And my hope is that they come to that realization not too far into the first half. I hope they come to that realization early second quarter, late first quarter. That's the risk, right? But at some point, I think they're going to realize unless there's a total fall off on, the Colts side, that they're going to have to rely on killing them, with a million paper cuts of short passes. So I'm hoping he's just going to accumulate that. And with factoring in TJ Watt, will that be enough, of a difference on that side to get a few 3-and-outs on the other side to give maybe 1 or 2 extra drives than we'd expect? So I'm just going to go with hoping that Pickett's going to have to throw it around quite a bit, at least for the second half of the game, if not 3/4 of the game. And hopefully he can cross that total. So I'm just going with over 32.5 pass attempts. which could hit even in an ugly game. So
I like it. Yeah, I'll ride with you on that. It's minus 110 on DraftKings. It's pretty much minus 115, minus 120, even minus 130 across the board. So I like that. I'll ride with you on that one. The only two player props that I ended up locking in that I liked were the two running backs, both of their receptions over.
okay.
So Jonathan Taylor is over 2.5 at minus 105. Najee Harris is over 2.5 at minus 145. So if I had to choose one, I definitely think Najee's more likely. I mean, like both of them are pretty much the only running back that's going to get any of the work. Like Jaylen Warren, the rookie running back for the Steelers, was starting to get some run, but he's out for this game. So Najee Harris is going to get 99% of the snaps, and I just think that he's going to, like, Big Ben checked it down to him a lot. Mitch Trubisky didn't. And Harris has been injured all year, but he looks healthy. Like he scored twice last week. He's starting to get a little bit healthy.
Yep.
So I ended up taking both of them. Both of them I risked to win a half unit. So not like huge plays for me by any means. But those are the two player props that I like the most. Both running backs over.
Okay, yeah, and then my other prop, that's a non-TD prop. I took Patty Fryermuth over on his receiving yards. Again, I caught it a little late. I think right now it's sitting at like 48.5 on DraftKings. Rationale why, if you dig into some of the positional receiver DVOA stats, although Indianapolis, not the worst in terms of pass defense, probably like middle of the pack. One soft area is, versus tight ends. And that seems to be a soft spot in their coverage. They're giving up, and here's the thing, not a ton. On average, they're giving up like 43 something, like 43, 44 yards per game. So that already almost speaks against it. But ever since my Bears decided to pick up Chase Claypool, and after Claypool's departure, Fryermuth's targets have gone up, and I think maybe just from extra target share volume, the way that the Colts play defense, they seem to drop back into zone a little bit more. So there are going to be these like soft spots where Patty does thrive. So I don't like it as, if I had to pick one, if you guys are like, which one should I pick? I like my Pickett over pass attempts better than this one, but this was my second closest one that I kind of like Patty in this spot from a soft spot perspective in DVOA stats against the tight end position, because of the style of defense that the Colts play a little bit more, which may play in the favor of Fryermuth. These were a couple of the factors, so I like him as well. But those were the only two that I felt like decently confident about. So that I'm kind of limiting it to those two. I'm not going to go crazy on player props tonight. So
yeah, I like that. The Fryermuth one for kind of the same logic for liking the Najee Harris one. It's like you figure they're going to probably check it down a ton. It's either to the tight end or to the running back. So I like that one as well. And I also like the boost. I didn't see a PMI boost. I just saw like the football odds boost is Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, George Pickens to combine for 2+ touchdowns. I like that one for plus 125. To me, it's like the most likely touchdown scorers are Taylor and Najee Harris.
Yeah. And I like Pickens, honestly. So I mean, that's not terrible to have him as like that extra insurance piece.
Exactly. He could just get like a deep bomb or something.
Or just fade jump ball with his, athleticism. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's not terrible. Not
so plus 125, like
not stellar, but a chalky one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I did like that boost. So I locked that in as well. But that's everything I've locked in for this game.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then, I'll lock that in with you. I like it. I mean, the rationale is pretty obvious, so I can't argue with many of those points. So, okay. So let's do TD. So I don't have too many. At one point I thought about Patty just because of the rationale I gave you, but his odds got smashed over the course of the day that at this point I'm actually not going to bet it because God, he was like in the upper, he was somewhere close to 300. I think he was like 290, 300. Now some books he's like plus 175, like on Caesars, plus 220 on FanDuel. So he got crushed over the day. I guess people really are high on Patty, but like I missed the window where I don't see a ton of value at this point. So I'm actually going to go to the other team because since I'm on some Steelers player props with his receiving and Pickett and stuff, so I'm going to go anytime touchdown scorer Paris Campbell. as
Okay,
anytime
I like it.
touchdown scorer. So that's going to be my like single mid value play. So not super long shot, not chalk with like the running backs. So that's going to be my single like standalone play is going to be Paris Campbell anytime touchdown. Right now, what it's sitting at plus, I could be off a little bit, plus 330 ish, I think, somewhere in that range. I think it might have been plus 370. Maybe I could be wrong, but it's somewhere in that range. It's been a while since I looked at it when I
Yeah,
bet it earlier.
340 is the best you can get, and that's on DraftKings.
There you go. Yeah. So plus that's my standalone TD is Paris Campbell. So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't really have a good one. To me, like Najee Harris at plus 135, I still think is good. Like he scored twice last week. The Colts do have a good defense, and they do have a good run defense. But if the Steelers get anywhere close to the end zone, which probably won't happen a ton, they're just going to give it to Najee Harris.
Yeah.
So getting him for plus money, I thought was worth it. Jonathan Taylor at Najee Harris at plus 135, I thought was worth it. Jonathan Taylor at minus 140 is like, I'm just not touching anything that bad.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, look, and I was kind of bashing Najee, but like you said, it just literally, it's scenario dependent, right? If they get within 3 or 4 yards,
he's just going to get the ball.
They're going to give it to him, regardless of his production the rest of the game, even if he's getting stuffed. It's just a natural thing to do. He's going to get 1 or 2 touches in that sequence of 4 plays at the goal line, right? So if you could just get there twice, you're going to get 4 chances, in my opinion, right? So plus money, it's not terrible at plus money.
Yeah, it's just can he convert one? Yeah, like plus 135 on FanDuel. The best odds looks like, that is the best odds. Plus 135 at FanDuel. Like for me, I assumed he'd be closer to like plus 110, plus 115. So the fact that you're getting him at plus 135, I said why not?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that just reflects, and even though and it's funny because we're talking in the low plus 100s, but for a running back, that's like your RB1. Like, I mean, to get that, like, I think it just kind of speaks to how low people are, right? On Najee to some degree, right? I mean, I think that's what it's reflecting basically. So
the starting running back is going to get 98% of the snaps, barring injury. You never see it as good as that. That just shows
usually minus 110, minus 130, somewhere in that range. Even like Taylor's odds, minus 140 if you're a top running back, right? So, okay, so should we build one out? Should we build out an SGP?
Let's do it. I don't know if this is actually worth it, but I thought it'd be kind of funny. What if we just parlayed the 3 people in the touchdown boost? Pickens, Harris, and Taylor, all to score, plus 1,300 odds.
So
Pickens, Harris, and Taylor.
Wow. You're right. If you just get those 3, it's already
we just take the same 3. I don't think that's actually a good idea, but I didn't think the odds would be that good.
That is pretty juicy. So
yeah.
And those are some of the obvious ones, right? I mean, like we were saying, so that's not even that terrible.
It's not terrible.
Oh God. I mean, I guess you can always argue with everyone's logic of it's cursed because it's a boost, but we know we don't always buy into that. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, I might just have to throw a little. That's not terrible for the obvious guys. So that's I might
have a free $5 bet. I might put it on that. Why not?
All right. Okay, so here's one that's separate. I'm gonna, just because I said I lost the opportunity to bet some value on Patty, but I want to include him in something. So I'm on my own. Before we build this, I'm just gonna say I did fire off, so I can read it off to you guys, my exact amount. I put $27 on Patty Fryermuth and Paris Campbell, the person I liked as my single. So hopefully I don't get doubly screwed here, but just the 2 of them plus 1488 on FanDuel. So
Patty and who?
And Paris Campbell, the 2 of them together. So just 2 guys plus 1488. So I put 27 to win 402 profit. So plus 1488 odds just on 2. So not even asking for 4 or 5 like people build these elaborate ones. Just 2 guys, Fryermuth, who's getting a lot of targets, Paris Campbell, who's second in red zone targets lately. Not totally unrealistic. So just 2 guys to combine for plus 1488. So that's something I'm going to do on the side separately, but just to factor that in. So let's build one. Let's build one. So do we want to avoid some of the people in the boost to just mix it up and be able to root for some other people then?
I say we can probably include Taylor because at minus 140, it's a pretty good parlay piece.
Sure. And then let's avoid Najee then to not
Yeah,
be overly redundant.
I agree.
Okay. So
I like your Patty Fryermuth angle. Like if we get him like 40 plus receiving yards, minus 192 is terrible, but again, in a parlay piece isn't terrible.
okay. Let's see. Do they have alt lines? They have 40. Yeah, 40 for minus 192. Yeah, that doesn't juice it up a lot, but let's see here.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, we need to add some more stuff, but just like, I don't know who else I like. Like, I guess we could do. Can you do an alt Najee Harris receiving yards? Probably not.
Najee.
He's at 17 and a half. That's so low.
Yeah, let's see. What does Fantasy Labs project him? I'm just curious. They have him around 19.2, averaging out all their models like 21. So somewhere 19 to 21. That's kind of where they're projecting him at.
Well, that's 17 and a half on FanDuel.
Okay. All right. I'll bite because there's going to be a lot of check down passes, in my opinion. Just no matter who these check downs are going to go to, basically.
Yeah. So do we do him and
okay. So
him and Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. Let me see. Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, he's right around there. Projected at 15.9. Average of all the models at 18. So somewhere right there.
He's 16 and a half on FanDuel. Maybe that's probably not worth it.
All right.
Is there any other receivers that you like? Like maybe a Paris Campbell alt receiving yards? 40 plus.
Pickens. I'd say let's pick someone on that side in case the Steelers are horrific. So just to spread it a little bit. So okay. So yeah, here's Campbell. I mean,
he's hit this in his last two games. He's like finally becoming a bigger part of the offense. He had like a huge catch last week against the Eagles.
Okay, so we got Paris at 40, Fryermuth at 40, Najee over 17 and a half. That brings and Jonathan Taylor to score plus 704.
Yep.
Okay. Leave it at that?
I'd say we leave it at that. I don't want
to keep it simple.
Force stuff for a game that we both don't really have. Like, this is gonna be one of those games where there's like, not only is it going to be low scoring, but there's also nothing that you can really rely on. You know.
Yeah, I'll go light on this one. I'll put $35, $35.50 to win $250 basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
There we go. Okay, so we have Taylor, Fryermuth, 40 plus, Paris Campbell 40 plus, and then Najee Harris over 17 and a half receiving yards. So okay, we're keeping it simple and light today, guys. So that's it. And like I said, my long shot, just a two-leg parlay for touchdown scores. It's going to be Patty and Paris Campbell for close to plus 1,500 guys. Not unreasonable for two people. So
not unreasonable. No.
All right. Any other last thoughts besides praying that we get some entertainment tonight?
No, that's it. Yeah. I just hope it, I mean, I don't know, being back on the East Coast, I hate how late these games start.
Yeah.
Back in Mountain Time, they end by 9:15. It's great. I don't know if it's worth staying up till 11:15 for this game, but hey, if it's entertaining, then I will. If not, then I'll get an early bedtime.
Hey man, I thought last night's game was great. I want more.
Oh, that was awesome.
I want more.
I could have watched it.
I want more of those kind of games, man. We need more of those. And even though like the Eagles, you kind of knew the Eagles were going to win. At least like there was some entertainment even at the end with that Watson TD, and I mean, it was fun, man.
The overhit in the first half.
God. That's
how often does that happen?
We need more of those, just crushing the over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. Well, go Steelers, and let's get this. Let's get this SGP, and let's have a good Patty Fryermuth game, guys. So
cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.